Hi everyone, I'm Eric,
And I'm Christopher.
and we're Grow For Me Gardening. Today we're going to make some new garden beds. Welcome to our garden. We are adding in a new garden bed right here in front of our Tromnar spruce, and we are going to call it the Tromnar Garden. And what's going to happen is we're going to remove all of this sod. I know there's a lot of different ways to build a new garden bed. Some people like to do the no-dig method. That's a great way to do it. We don't do that because we're not patient enough.
That's for sure.
So what's going to happen is all of this sod is coming out. We have friends that are going to help us today because they want to take the sod for their new yard. This is all coming out. It'll be left bare until we kind of decide what's going to be planted where, and then it will be top dressed with compost. But come on over here to another new spot. We're adding a bed, and this is going to be called the Dahlia bed.
Why is it going to be called the Dahlia bed?
It's going to be called the Dahlia bed because this is where Christopher's going to plant all of his Dahlia seedlings. And it's going to be right starting here. This whole chunk is coming out to round out this bed. And this area here is going to be where all of those new Dahlias are going to go.
So when we're creating a new bed, there's a couple different ways of getting the shape. I've seen people lay down string. I've seen people lay down a hose, a garden hose. That's actually a good idea because it's not so bendy. But I have found two ways that work the best for me are marking paint. Just get down there and start making your shape. See if you like it, go with it. Otherwise you can scrape it out because it's like a chalk. Or just dive in and start cutting and see if you like it. This bed connects really nicely here to this piece of the black metal edging that holds the pea gravel in. So I don't want to change this too much because it's really easy to mow.
Yeah,
right
I don't
here.
want you to change it at all. I think...
No. It goes this way, so
Yep.
This needs some weeding, but then I think it'll just follow that natural curve and go out this way.
Sometimes too, Christopher just like marks the point in the lawn that the peak of the curve is going to be at.
And then I have a somewhere to aim. Sort of we know we want it to be this big. So then I'll make it my goal to carve a circular shape that gets to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I already know I'm not doing enough. And we try not to put straight lines in our beds because we like the straight lines to come from the terrace and the hardscaping. That can be quite the challenge with just your hands and your edger.
What is the name of that tool? Because a lot of people ask.
This tool is the Gardener's Lifetime Halfmoon Edger.
Yeah, Halfmoon Edger.
The reason I like this one is it's incredibly sharp and it's kind of handy. Like, it's not as bulky as some of the taller ones are. As you can see, Eric, I've completely overshot this spot, but that's okay.
You were talking. I was talking.
It's all right.
We're never going to regret having the garden bed be too big.
Yeah, and I have 52 dahlias that I am going to be putting in this space.
Yeah.
It might not be a forever space for dahlias because we have the serviceberry, we have the Japanese pine, the sting arborvitae, so they're going to get a little taller. So this won't always be the full sun perfect dahlia bed of our dreams, especially because we also have the prairie fire crabapple.
Hold my hand behind it so you can see.
So pretty. I feel like this time of year there's so much yellow and white that it's nice to see little pops of the darker red color. And so just like that, I'm pretty close to connecting this side. The other reason I like this edger is it's not as wide as some are. So it's a little more compact. It doesn't have a big space for your foot to go. So I do not recommend doing this in flip-flops. But, you know, you want some kind of boot on, something that's got a nice sturdy sole.
I think we're out a little far from the curve right now.
Oh, so I was going to wrap right around.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I think that it should come off of this curve. and go that way.
The good thing is, if you make a mistake,
Your grass just grows right back
your
together.
grass just grows right back together. We're just gonna call it root stimulation. How's that?
Yeah, it's aeration. We're aerating the grass.
So we did realize, of course, we have friends helping us, and we have several different lines as we were kind of playing with this. So the one that we are officially choosing, we're gonna reline with the white chalk, and that will help us to make sure that we don't take out anything that we don't want removed. It's also going to tell me whether or not I actually like the line we've created. So while Eric is getting the guy set up to start the sod removal in the places we already have edged out, or planned out at least, I'm going to go up here on the west side to the front of the house and start sketching out the edges that are just being refreshed. And then when he gets back, we'll start planning out the new ones.
Right now, we're thinking about how we're going to recreate this edge on the west side that we kind of want to revamp. And we've done a brief carve out. We are just expanding, about a foot here. But then, as we enter this spot, so this is where we have to be very careful, because this looks like it could become a very straight edge if we're not careful. So we want to make sure that this maintains a swoop around.
Stays close here, which is also good for the sprinkler head that I won't have to move.
And the egress window.
And the egress window with these beautiful bubbly sparkles. We'll never remember the name.
It's a Baptisia.
Baptisia. And then this is going to stay tight here. And right at Ember Waves, this will become bigger and bigger and make one giant swoop that comes around here to connect to the red bud.
Yes, and then all this gets revamped, and I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. So let me edge this out. Ooh, a big edge.
This forsythia is coming out. It's a beautiful shrub, but it's in the wrong spot. So we're going to try and transplant it to the top of the berm to relieve the stress of trying to establish roots while supporting all of that foliage that's coming. We're just going to coppice it down and transplant it, and then it will reflush fresh from the ground. So I'm not throwing it away, but we are moving it. All right.
That seems to be all of it. Oh.
We were going to coppice it anyway, so.
We were going to coppice it anyway.
Yeah.
This goes under the heading of it's okay to move things and make changes in the garden, and even good change can sometimes be a little difficult.
Maybe we should save these and put them in a vase.
They were already starting to shed. They got to go over the hill.
All right. It already feels so much fresher over here. The hard part is going to be getting this out. So we have our root slayer shovel, which we got from Gardener's Supply. This is our first time really using it for a big task, so let's see how it does. This is very rocky, sandy soil here.
It's funny, the west side of our house, when the construction was done, it really, it has a lot of rocks in it when they did the backfill, as opposed to the east side, which is a little easier to work in.
Okay, root slayer.
How's it going?
It's slaying a little bit. It's not slaying all the way. I mean, I'm not stepping on anything right here, right? This is all taken out.
That was all taken out. That's where that weird lemon bergamot, I think it might have been, or wild bergamot. I don't know. It was a seed. It was a bad idea.
It was spreading like wildfire. Just keep an eye on my feet. If I'm going to step on anything, let me know.
The only thing that's in your path right now are some going bananas daylily. Underneath that brown drip tube, there is an additional peony, but I'm going to let you step on it.
Where is it?
No, it's too little to worry about. We're just going to worry about my sorbet peony over here, which is going to have to move in the near future.
I'm not going to pretend. That was one of the hardest things we've had to do in our garden. And thank goodness that our friends were here. It took 3 of us to lift it up out of the ground as I had the shovel under it to pry it up, which is why there's no footage of it. But it's on top of the berm right now. We'll see how much energy we have if we're going to bury it, or if we're going to plant it.
The root ball is probably 2 feet by 18 inches deep. It's a lot.
Yeah, it was huge, but this is being replaced with a beautiful wabi-sabi Japanese maple from Islay. As you can see, we have lots of white lines on the ground still. We have put in a good amount of effort today, but we have gotten rained out. But we want to show you what we have achieved. Number 1 is outlining all of the beds and what they're going, the new shape for some. Others are just being expanded out a little bit. Just kind of refreshing those lines. We knew last year when we installed the hydrangea room that this spring we'd have to bump it out another 6 or 8 inches. That's going to look great. Come on through here, Christopher, because this is amazing, and I cannot believe we did not do this sooner. Look at the Tromnar bed. It is so epic. I love it so much.
Eric, as I'm about to walk towards you, the view we're looking at is this sense that the bed's going to move this way, and then the whole garden moves this way, and then it finishes up where you are. There's this natural zigzag in the lawn that looks fantastic.
I love it. And so we have an urn coming from Campania called the Jensen urn. So I'm picturing it maybe here-ish.
Yeah.
We're going to have to kind of see. This is moving. I love it, but I think it's going to end up on the west side. I'm thinking right here a drift of roses.
Would they be oh so easy?
They might be oh so easy peasy roses. They could be at last roses. We have a bunch of roses from Proof of Winners that we're going to be planting this season. So maybe a nice drift or clump here. And then some other shrubs are coming. I know we have Let's Dance Lovables coming. Let's Dance...
A Wee Bit Innocent.
Wee Bit Innocent is coming. That's a really cool one. I don't know. There's lots of opportunities for that. And then again, you can kind of see like the white on the ground where things are going to be tidied up. This one is cool. The Dahlia bed came out very nice. Gorgeous. This is just going to be... Oh, we got to rake that dirt up so the grass doesn't get smothered. This is just going to be like a nice place for Christopher to plant all the dahlias he's growing from seed.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And we can actually do a really nice grid of drip so they get perfect irrigation.
Yeah, that'll be great. Over here, something fun is going to be happening. We will go into more detail on our weekly walkabout this week, but as you can see, there's something that's going to be helping with the drainage coming in, which is very exciting. And then coming up this side, really wanted to get this done today, but as you can see, it's raining. And
yeah, this is the part where we
honestly, this is back-breaking labor to do this. I mean, it's painful. So this right here all still needs to come out.
It is currently edged. I did cut the line, but I need to go through with the spray marker.
Yeah, so not this. Ignore this spray. But yeah, and then come on over here, Christopher. We took out the forsythia. That was a beast. I don't know if we showed you the after yet, did we?
No, this is what it's looking like afterwards.
This is the after. That poor forsythia.
It looks like something like a meteor hit a hole here.
Yes, but that hole is actually what we need for the wabi-sabi maple that's going in there.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's already dug.
We're going to have to dig even further than that for that tree.
That, I think, put me over the edge today.
Yeah.
Removing that. That was hard. I actually said to Chris, I was like, stop filming me. There's no way I'm going to look remotely like decent or say appropriate things while this is being filmed. But this is all being cut out. Here's all of our bare root roses that are going to be planted. And then this gets cleaned up right here. And then we have our property line borders that are being expanded. This is going to be North Pole Arborvitae, North Pole Arborvitae, North Pole Arborvitae in a triangle next to our Blue Point Juniper. And then we have a brand new Arborvitae coming from Isley that we're excited to introduce.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. There'll be two of them, so there'll be one on each side of the house.
Yep, and that's going to be mirrored over there. So that's it for our edging this week and new garden beds. Thank you so much for joining us today as we start the process of adding new garden beds and edging up the garden for the season. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.